We are here, we are here, we are here on this amazing day. Okay, everyone, this is Cam Jones, FX Daily Analysis, and we are marking up NKE. We are in a monthly time frame. Price action, last candle to the right hand side is a bullish green candle. We do have price action overall, higher highs, price action overall, lower lows, midpoint. Also adding second level highs, third level highs, fourth level highs, and let's zoom in the price to see what's going on. So price action is currently sitting at 115.78. We are at a bullish green doji, pushed down to the bottom, so it came back to retest. Also could be a pattern forming that area, and also like it came from a pattern. So there's multiple things going on in this area. If price action pushes up to the next level, we are looking for price to tag that resistance line at 127.70. Before tagging that line, it can tag that midpoint of that area, which will be near 121.63. If price pushes down, it can tag that support line at 106.58. Before tagging that, it can tag that midpoint area, which will be near the numbers of 111.61. So let's take a look at what's going on in the market. So we can see that, so if we identify where price is currently at, we can see that market price is right above the overall midpoint line. So let's see what happens. So if this market pushes up further, we do see that that market did break into that midpoint line, broke through that midpoint line, came back to retest, the market pushed up. So that's identified as the first overall, second leg overall, third leg, and we starting to see that fourth leg creates that pattern. So we do have a resistance, we have a midpoint overall, and we have a low. So when that market identified that first, second, third, and now it's pushing up for that fourth leg, price actions near the midpoint. So we are looking for to see what pattern is going to identify itself in this area to push up through that midpoint. And once that market breaks that midpoint, we are looking for the market to push up higher. So we are looking for that break, the market to follow up with the break, the retest, and then for that market to push up further. If price pushes down overall, it's coming from what happened at the high. So we did receive a pattern of that first, second, third, fourth. So we have a double top, market pushed down, and it's coming back to retest. Why? Because we have, once again, the resistance, we have that support, and we have that midpoint in the middle. So when that market did identify at the top, first, second, third, fourth, market broke the midpoint, came back to return to the midpoint. And now we're looking to see if that market's going to identify the break, the retest, and then push down further, unless market works its way back up. If market does work its way back up, there also is a pattern right below price action, which pushed that market into that W formation, as we can see, for that decline W for that first, second, third. Market pushed up for that fourth, so it created that W formation. So this is the area we are looking for after this price action, or near the price action, to break, retest somewhere around this level to see if it's going to push up. So if so, another pattern could be forming, which should be identified as the left shoulder, the head. It can do the same thing as it did to the left side, which will identify that retest for that right shoulder and push up from an overall left shoulder, head, right shoulder, head and shoulders pattern inverted, and pushes way up. Overall, 3 pushes to that bottom, which is a triple bottom. Walking down to the weekly time frame, so price action on the weekly time frame is identifying as a bullish green candle, doji style, very large doji, Long wicks up to the top, long wick to the bottom. Also, price action is side by side with the second, the last candle, third, last candle, fourth, fifth, and sum of sixth last candle and sum of seventh. So last 6 candles of the market is all consolidating, creating a pattern in that area. So let's take a look at what we see. So if that market pushes up from this area, it's patterns inside patterns. So just looking at what happened at that low, we did receive that coming down in red, which will be identified as the first leg, second leg. Market broke, came back to retest. That's the third leg, and market's pushing up for that fourth. So we're gonna see how far market goes, but you can see price action, which is that large doji, is between a resistance and support, hanging out at the midpoint. So we have to figure out as we walk down the time frame what's going on here. So also there's another pattern in that market which can identify a double bottom on this right hand side as we see on the left hand side. Why? So we do have that double left shoulder. We have that head at the bottom. Market can apply a single right shoulder as it's doing and push out and create new levels, or we may just see a double right shoulder just as we see on the left side of the double left shoulder, and market pushes to break out that area. Walking down to the daily. So price action on the daily is reading as a bearish red candle, so market's getting very choppy. So we can see that we do know that price action, as we said before in the earlier time frame, price action is between a midpoint area. So we're going to put an SR line there, and we're going to put a zone around it as we walk down the time frame. The market's getting very choppy, so let's identify what we see. So price action, monthly time frame, bearish red, push up to the top, doji style, very weak candle. Can be identifying losing a lot of momentum, which it did. Long wick up to the top, losing momentum. So we're going to see if that market's going to still continue to push down. If so, we'll see that overall first, second. Remember, there's a gap in the market, pushed up for that third. We receive that pattern. Market's working its way down from that double top. If that market pushes up, we'll talk about that in the 4-hour time frame. So as we are on that 4-hour time frame, we're going to put a zone around that area, a little bit above, a little bit below. And we can take a look at what's going on, and we can see that price action and the second last candle is consolidating side by side. So if this market pushes up, it'll identify it as the spike down to the low, second last spike down. So we do have that market identified the break, the retest. So we do have that first, second, third. Remember, there's a gap in the market. Market create that fourth leg and just consolidating sideways. So once the market entered that zone, it did finish the formation of the W. So now we're waiting for the break and retest to see if it's going to push up further or just consolidate in that area. Walking down to 3-hour time frame. So on the 3, price action, bearish red candle. The market is reading as the third to last candle spike up. Market came back to retest that middle of that zone, which is that SR line. Same as well on the 2-hour time frame. Also, fourth to last candle is a huge doji. So anything within that area is consolidating, and we can see our midpoint, which would be the top of that zone. Headed down to the 1. Same as well, market broke, came back to retest, pushed up. It's creating an M pattern, so we can start to see that M pattern form if it breaks out that support line. Headed down to the 45, same as well. Bearish red candle, headed down to the 30, same as well. Bearish red candle, still touching the top of that support line. Headed down to the 15, same as well. Now we're seeing that the price action candle is losing momentum. So we have a doji, or as I said, a bearish candle pressed down to the bottom, doji style, very small, lost a lot of momentum. So market could be identifying a spike down for that market to push up. If so, we'll talk about that in 5 minutes. What's identify that overall first, second, third, and we'll see that market push up from that area unless we see the break and retest to that support line. So on that SR line, we did receive the break. Market came back to retest. It just working its way sideways. So we're going to see if that third leg is going to push up with the bullish green candle. So if so, we're looking for the breakout to the opposite end for the retest for that market to work its way up for that W formation. Headed down to the 1 minute time frame, we can see it forming. So we're looking for the same thing, breakout of the SR line. Very important information. Please review Forex pattern cheat sheet, breakout retest strategy. Click on images. Okay, guys, Cam Jones, NKE, stock.